Welcome, everyone. My name is Rob Simons. I'm the Director of Housing Development for Habitat for Humanity, East Bay, Silicon Valley. With me today is Cameron Delaney. He is the project manager who will be working on this project for Habitat. And also Namisha Agrawal, who's the associate planner in charge of this project with the city of Santa Clara. As Namisha commented, we are recording this and it will be on the city's website in the near future once they can get that posted on there. We're hoping to make a presentation tonight of the project that we have at 3575 De La Cruz Avenue in Santa Clara. And we'll make that presentation. And then we will have about 40 minutes or 45 minutes to do question and answer with the community. Anybody has any questions, comments regarding the project? And then we will take a couple of minutes to discuss those comments that occurred today and what the next steps are before the project receives any city approvals. So I want to thank you all for attending. And we will get started with the project right now. Cameron, you want to, and if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand and we will stop the presentation and attempt to answer your questions then and there. Who is Habitat? Habitat, we responded to a city request for proposals on this project back in 2019. We, Habitat for Humanity East Bay Silicon Valley, is a developer that has been working in the Bay Area community since 1986. We're extremely experienced in developing affordable housing. I think we've done 3,000 homes in those 36 years. We have met with the city and attempted to structure this development as a mixed income development that spans very low, and moderate income housing. There are approximately 15 units in the project as contemplated right now. We've worked long and hard with the city to come up with the current design that we'll be showing you. And we are currently looking at governmental subsidy organizations to provide additional funding for this project. Next slide, Cameron. As I said before, we have 36 years of developing affordable housing in the Bay Area. Habitat overall has been in existence since 1976. There are 1,400 affiliates around the world in 70 different countries. We personally have done 10 projects in Silicon Valley. We've served over 13,000 people in our 3 trade areas of Alameda, Contra Costa, and Santa Clara counties over the past 36 years. We started doing multi-home developments like you see here in 2000. We just completed one in 2020 with 30 units, a very similar project in Fremont, California. We offer services, not just developing new homes, but we also do home renovations to keep people that do not have the financial means or physical abilities to maintain their homes. We provide those services, as well as homeowner counseling, where we teach people how to live with a budget, be able to afford and pay their mortgages, which we put on each one of the homes that we sell, and make sure that they understand the benefits of being able to save money for education, emergencies, things such as that. In working with the city to come up with income ranges for this project, as I said before, we're hoping for somewhere in very low, and middle income occupations. That would be teachers, public agency employees, retail, restaurant, service, office workers, and other occupations, anywhere people making anywhere from 40 to 120% of the median area income for Santa Clara County. In 2022, this would be household incomes from one bedrooms, which would be two people living in there, of about $53,000, up to 8 people living in one of our larger units, a 4-bedroom unit, up to about $200,000. That is considered to be moderate income for a family of that size. We've done quite a bit of social impacts related to our development. Those social impacts address community engagement, health and wellness of the people living in our projects. As I mentioned before, financial counseling and stability that give their homeowners tools to thrive when they become homeowners in one of our projects. And we've analyzed education outcomes, where people that live in our project have improved results compared to national averages. People that get into our program before they purchase one of our homes, approximately 40% of them say that they are proud where they live. Once they purchase one of our homes, that number goes up to 98%. 37% of people prior to buying one of our homes were comfortable inviting people over. After buying one of our homes, that number goes up to 67%. 30% of the people prior to buying one of our homes knew 5 or more of their neighbors. That number goes up to over 60% once they purchase one of our homes. These really show that people are not just part of the community, but engaged in being part of the community. When we studied the individual's health and safety, we found that 93% have a reduction in health problems because our homes under our green build are safer to live in. They feel safer in our projects. They have a feeling of personal improvement, and 99% of the people in our projects reduce, reuse, and recycle. They limit the amount of landfill that they are adding to. So we consider that to be really positive. People, before they move into one of our projects, very few, if any, can save. 73% of the families that buy one of our homes have some sort of savings, whether it be for college, emergency fund, or for retirement. The number of families with increased retirement savings doubles. And the number of families that over the course of one of our 30-year mortgages that have $10,000 or more of household savings at the end of that time more than doubles as well. From an education standpoint, Habitat kids have an 87% graduation rate from high school versus an national average of 83%. Part of that is due to 97% feeling like they now have a quiet place to study. 40% have improved grades, 55% have improved confidence, and 20% of the homeowners reach an increased level of education, namely they either graduate from high school or from college, where before they hadn't had that ability. The city of Santa Clara put out a vision statement and hold a workshop for this project back in February of 2018. They had an online survey, which they published the results of in March of 2019. They also held a community engagement meeting on January 29th, 2018. Once those community and visioning workshops and survey were held, they put out an RFP that Habitat for Humanity responded to, and we were awarded the opportunity to develop this project in end of 2018. In 2019, September 18th and January 15th of 2020, we held a couple of community meetings in which we received quite a bit of feedback from the neighbors that showed up there. and we are currently holding this meeting tonight to gain further feedback from the community. On the right-hand side, you see the responses, go back, that the city received according, from their visioning workshop and survey, and Habitat did its best to meet the requirements of that survey. Next stage, next file. This gives you an idea of the current design of the project. It shows elevations both from the parking lot side and the industrial side of the site. The property on the left that shows a aerial photo of the site existing as it is today with nothing on the property. And the picture on the right shows you a concept design of what the project would look like once completed. As you can see on the roof, there's solar panels, the PG&E easement adjoining the neighbors to the south. We are not allowed to build anything on, so we are only able to landscape that portion of the property with low growing shrubs and ground cover, nothing that goes over 8 feet in height. Next slide. This shows a conceptual site plan with the garages facing the parking lot to the north and the homes arranged to the south. The project contemplates 5 ground floor flats. There are 3 2-bedroom single-story flats and 2 1-bedroom flats on the ground floor behind the garages. Next floor, or next slide. Next slide shows the 2-story townhouses. There are 10 of those that are stacked on top of the ground floor flats. There are 10 2-story townhomes. There are, we've got 5 3-bedroom units. We have 1 4-bedroom unit, and we have 3 2-bedroom units stacked upon the ground floor flats. Next slide. This shows you an elevational look from the parking lot where you can see the garages and the stairways up to the landings for the 2nd floor flats or townhomes. Next slide. This shows you the elevation that faces the industrial properties to the south. This shows you the west elevation that faces De La Cruz Boulevard. And lastly, this is the elevation that faces the PG&E easement. This gives you a larger view of the ground floor flats. As you can see, there are, on the left-hand side, there's a living space, and then on the right-hand side of the 2-bedroom, there's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a set of closets that held the water heater and storage, those sorts of things. The one on the right is a 1-bedroom unit with a, again, some storage, bathroom, bedroom on the right, and the living space in on the left-hand side with a patio out in the rear. This gives you an idea of what the 2-bedroom townhome, stacked townhomes look like. On the ground level, there is the entertainment areas and a roof deck over the garage. And on the 2nd floor of the townhome, there are the bedrooms and a bathroom. The 3-bedroom units are laid out basically the same way with an additional bedroom up on the 3rd floor. And lastly, the 4-bedroom unit has is basically a 3-bedroom unit with a additional bedroom on the ground floor. That being for families that have a family that needs handicap accessible bedroom on the ground floor, but they would be larger than either the 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom flats that we have. Our current project schedule, we are having this meeting right now to fine tune our design for submitting to the planning department. We hope to have a submittal that is acceptable to the community and the planning department by and make application this month for a planning review in January of 2023. And then we would look to gaining city council approvals on our condominium map in February or March of 2023. Once those approvals are in place, we would begin the permitting process where we would make submittals to the City of Santa Clara's building department with a 10-month timetable to receive building permits and then begin construction in March 2024 with a 21-month construction timeline, completing the construction in January of 2026, and then selling all of the 15 units after that completion of construction. In closing, we're a strong development team. We have 36 years of experience designing and building these types of projects. I've shared with you our long-term impacts and the benefits of a project such as ours in the neighborhood. And lastly, just our little spiel that we're dedicated to everyone having a safe, healthy place to live. Happy to take any questions that you may have. Please raise your hand. Steve, let me unmute you.
There we go. Can you guys hear me just fine?
We can.
Perfect. Just questions, I guess, regarding the for the homes that's facing the north and the east. Being that these buildings are going to be about 3 stories, what kind of blockage will there be planned, along for those houses? Is there going to be any shrubs or anything that's going to be along the fence line there, so for the privacy of those homes? Or
well, we're allowed to do what we're allowed to do. As I mentioned before, Cameron, if you could go back to the slide that shows the existing aerial and then our proposed development. Right. We're only allowed in that PG&E easement to plant plants that grow to a maximum of 8 feet in height.
So there's plenty. There's plenty of space there to the east. How about to the north for the home that's going to be right on the other side of that parking lot there? And
for the home right on the other side,
just
there's
north
a crash enclosure on the north side.
Right.
Are you referring to this property here?
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have some landscaping planted along the backside of those parking spaces right there.
Okay.
And if that could be something we'd be willing to talk to the city about, what kind of plants would be there. There really isn't room there to plant tall trees, but that does not mean that we could not pick some tall growing hedge plants that would fit in that area there and could get 8, 10, 12, 15 feet high.
Perfect. Thank you.
John, let me get you there. I think I've unmuted you.
Here we go. Now, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So you already know what my concern is. I only pretty much have one. And it seems to me that I'm not getting any
You're talking about the third story windows facing the PG&E easement.
it seems like I'm not really getting any agreement from you or the city. And so I'm not going to ask about that. My question is, you're allowing us to see the design and make comments, and then the response is, sorry, we're going to build it that way anyway. So what's the point of this? It's pretty much like, here it is. This is what we're going to do. If you don't like it, too bad. This is what it's going to be.
Well, no, John, we'd love to try and work with you, and we're willing to, talk about certain things, but there are certain aspects to any project that we can't meet. And, we have talked to the city about the fact that you'd like those windows removed from that side of the project. And we don't feel that that's a responsible thing to do with regard to the development. And we haven't heard from the city that they feel that we should remove those windows either. Now, I'd be willing to talk to you about putting some plant materials on your side of the fence line there if you wanted to grow a taller hedge than we're allowed to put on our side to provide some screening from your backyard. But those windows are almost 100 feet from your property line. And so that is an extensive distance away.
Okay, well, planting some stuff on my side of the fence would be acceptable, but that hasn't been mentioned until now.
I'm looking at it, because we had planned on planting some plants on our side of the fence, and PG&E came back and told us that nothing over 8 feet. You're not allowed to do it.
Right, and that's how tall the fence is.
Yeah, and so in thinking about it now, I'm throwing something out there to see if it's something that would make you happy.
That would make me happy.
And we'll work with you. We'll have we'll get some recommendations from our landscape architect, and we'll make a recommendation to you, or you could pick some trees, whatever you want, and we'll plant them on your side.
All right. Well, and it would be helpful from my side of the fence to know exactly where those windows are going to be that face my property, and I don't know exactly what the visibility into my yard and patio area is going to be, but if there's anybody that can help me determine that would be helpful also. I mean, I've only just estimated it based on the size of that tree that's over there, and how far away that tree is and how far away the edge of the building is that's facing my direction. So
I'm pretty sure our architects have ability to show you a sight line diagram.
That would be very helpful, Rob. And if I may add, John, I did review your request and did review the plans. So in reviewing the plans, staff thinks, like as Rob mentioned, that it is a considerable distance to have like a significant impact on that side of the property, because the windows are really located almost like 100 feet away, and that's not counting maybe your side of the property.
Right. Well, they're on the third story, and I believe that those windows will be directly visible from my patio.
Right, but they are about 100 feet away. And the other thing is that having the trees, it's the developer is willing to plant the trees, but then again, they could be 8 foot high. So yeah, if that's acceptable to you and they are willing to do it, that's great. But yeah, yeah, that's great. But really, like, the other thing I wanted to add was that this project application is a AB 3194 application, which does not require the developer to rezone the property. The hearing will be architectural review, which will be a development review hearing. And all the public comments will be presented to them, at that hearing, including this one of yours.
Yeah,
So
I
they will
read
be
that.
part of the record. So it's not like nobody will be hearing your concerns. So the development review officer will have the chance to review it and analyze it and make a decision on that.
Well, I think the answer is going to have to be some planting on my side, because the fence is already 8 feet, and any planting on the project side can't be any taller than that fence. So if we could get somehow to figure out what the sight line is, let's start with that.
And we'll instruct our architects to work on that tomorrow.
Thanks.
And yeah, no, and we'll I'll reach out to you with that drawing as soon as it's available, and then we can start working on some plant materials for your side of the fence.
Way back, I also mentioned it would be nice to have a concrete to replace the wooden fence with something more permanent along that property line, my property line and the project. Do you remember that?
No, but I can go back and look at the notes.
Yeah, I even included a picture of what I thought would be a nice, like masonry wall similar to what you see along the freeway or something like that. That would just make it easier than having to deal with whoever I need to deal with when sections of the fence need to be replaced, as common fence line. Both sides of the fence usually submit 50-50 to the cost of it. And if it was something more permanent, we wouldn't have to deal with that. Hello.
Yeah, I know. I'm listening.
That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
I can resend that email to you with a picture of a masonry wall and see what you say.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
Looks like Ramona.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi, Ramona.
Romana.
Or
It's,
Ramona.
Yes.
Sorry.
I've talked to
My
you before.
apologies.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I was listening. Just his name John. Yeah, he actually brought up the same questions I had asked before about building a concrete thing, and they said that the most they can do is put that back-to-back fence. The way the wood was going to be, the fence was going to be built. It was going to be like a double-sided thing. And it would
Well,
have
no, it's a good neighbor fence. What we're proposing along your property frontage, because of that location of that pine tree, if we were to try and put a masonry wall where the pine tree currently exists right now, we would have to cut through the roots of that pine tree to put the footing in for a masonry wall, and that will kill that tree.
So the only thing that's keeping you from doing or going into a concrete wall would be the pine tree.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what if you find that even in building a regular fence, the pine tree is still going to be a problem for you?
No, we can put the posts on either side of the root ball for that pine tree, and it would not be the same as cutting through all of the roots right adjacent to the trunk of that tree. I mean,
We have
that
more-
tree sits literally right on the fence line.
We have more flexibility with a wood fence and a masonry wall to save that tree.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that. Now, I know I had the same concern as the other person that was before me. I was kind of working two things. Again, yeah, my most concerns is privacy and noise level. Those are the two things. Because I know that the cars are going to be coming down on and parking right along that side of the fence where the pine
Mhm.
tree is. And people are going to be going in and out of that. I mean, I don't know how much traffic is going to be coming in and out, but it's, you're going to have 15 units there. So the lights of the car, our bedroom faces that area. So, and I mean, our main bedroom faces that area. It's a sliding door. So, light hopefully will not be coming through the fence that's going to be built there.
Well, we had
And-
proposed doing a two-sided good neighbor fence, which would have double the amount of wood of your traditional fence, and the boards would be offset so that no light would shine through that wood fence into your yard.
And you did mention before that that kind of fence actually deters quite a bit of noise, but just like the last person that was talking, perhaps there could be some vegetation trees put up. I was thinking of more like Italian pines to go straight up and be a more of a barrier for. I don't know if there's any windows facing toward me. I know most of the windows are over here facing the industrial area. But
No, there are windows facing your property as well on the second and third floors. The ground floor is all garages.
Okay, so basically there are people that are going to be able to be looking
Yes.
over into my yard. So that's what I'm saying is, would you be able to put some vegetation? Because I know the pine tree will cover some, but that's over there away from my house. So,
Yes.
so
And we
maybe-
do have a landscaping strip between the fence line and the parking stalls adjacent to your property. And we have no problem at all trying to put some tall growing hedge material in there that could provide additional
privacy
privacy.
and probably deter some noise too.
Yes.
Those are my two main concerns: privacy and noise. That's it. I welcome Habitat for Humanity there, and I know that you got to guys go through a lot of hoops, but at the same time, I want to be a good neighbor, but I still want those two issues to be addressed. Is the privacy, which just means some kind of vegetation that will be higher than the fence that you're putting up. That's basically it.
Okay.
Okay.
We will talk that over with our landscape architects, and we will come back to you with some ideas on that.
Okay, because my idea was saying if they can't do it, I'm going to have to put some money into it. But it's your development, so it should be maybe put on your side. Is like I said, an example would be the Italian pines that go straight up, and they're thin, and you could just put a roll of them, and that. But your landscaper might have better ideas. So.
Yep.
So okay. You see, other than that, I did have, I had mentioned, I had talked to, I talked to somebody at your place, and
That would be Cameron.
yeah, Cameron, I mentioned about the traffic. You have, you're going to put a walkway for pedestrians to cross over to the park with lights, or just a flashing pedestrian crossing lines, or how are you going to do that?
No, the city has asked us to go and make improvements down to the traffic signal down the street.
Only there?
Only there.
Okay, because people, we get at least 2 accidents or 1 accident a year in that between the curve and Aldo, especially when there's a lot of traffic with the Baptists going in and out. So there's a curve there, and it's just people are going really fast, and there have been there's just been accidents, simple as that. Like just a couple of months ago, there was a rollover right in front of the tennis courts, a single car rollover because he was going too fast on that area. And so I was thinking, originally you had said you were going to put a pedestrian with flashing lights crossing.
Well, we had proposed that, yes,
And they
but
didn't
it's
want
our
that.
understanding that because of that curve right there, there isn't the right sight distance to put in a crosswalk like we had proposed before. We're
Oh.
willing to put in traffic calming improvements if the city requires us to do that.
Well,
And again, they're telling us that they'd like us to improve the traffic signal down the street to allow for better pedestrian crossings there.
It's interesting because I don't see a problem with where the lights for the pedestrian crossings are. That most people obey those two sides, the Aldo and the one on Greenwood. And I have never seen really an accident happen there with the pedestrians or cars. It's usually between Greenwood and Aldo that the accidents take place, and that's because people are going too fast on the curve, or people are coming out of the parking lot near the park, and they're going around the curve, and they're speeding. And so, is there any way they can have like those low-lying, what do they call, speed bumps to slow down the speed?
I
It's-
can
it's
help
not the-
address.
It's not the lights, it's the speed bump. It's the speed that's causing the problems. And if you no matter how you're going to say, you're going to have people pedestrian crossing on Aldo and pedestrian crossing on Greenwood. Those are the two closest ones. I see people park in front of my house, in front of our neighbor's house, in front of your lot to cross over to go to the park, to cross over to go to the tennis court every day. So you're going to have people. If you think you're not going to have people from that building not wanting to go all the way to Greenwood or going all the way to Aldo to cross the street, it might happen for a few, but most of them are going to chance it and cross over to the side. They're gonna jaywalk, and that's just a common thing, and it's expected. I see it all the time. I see people parking over here. They take their tennis items and they cross the street, or they go do exercise, or it's busy. It's a busy street, and so I'm just concerned that somebody's going to get hit. A pedestrian's going to get hit between Aldo and Greenwood, right around between the tennis courts and where the baseball field is, right where the baseball house is, the little hutch there. That's where most of the people cross over to the park. And you have on Sundays in the morning and in the afternoon when they have the services with the Baptist, they park on this side and they all cross over to the street. Oh, well, and I would say 90% of them do. So you're going to have people, they're going to cross no matter what, I just don't see those two light stopping areas are going to be effective. And speed, people and pedestrians and speed, it's gonna happen. I don't know. Another concern I have is, I know you have signs, they're not real big, but you have signs saying that no semis should be going through, heavy loaded semis, and they go through there, and some of them are speeding too. So I don't see how that's going to. Something has to be done with those guys too, to avoid them from using Aldo, between Aldo and to get to the Montague, from the industrial area to the Montague with their items fully loaded. I mean, I see them. Like today there was a fire engine going through by, and there was a truck in front of it, and I even heard the fire move over to the left, move over to the right, move over to the right, because he was on the left side, and he wasn't speeding, but the thing is he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. So you're going to have those issues too, that is going to be affecting your families. Just letting you know.
Hi, Romana. I
Mm.
I hope I said your name correct.
You did. Thank you.
Yeah, I am noting down your comments, and if you wish, you can send me those comments to my email address, and I can share my email address probably here.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to say that, yeah, those comments are more for the city, I guess, than
Oh.
for the developer. And what we can do is what I can do is I can pass over those comments to our traffic division for them to analyze based on the data and see what would work best in that area. And again, thank you for your comments and your feedback.
Okay. Just things, issues that are happening that I see every day, and it is, and my concern is pedestrian safety. And I think that takes care of my questions. Thank you.
Rob, we have another.
Steve, yep, Steve, you're up again. You there?
There we go. Sorry about that.
No worries.
How many parking spots will be on the property there?
30.
30 total. Okay.
Yes.
So just say each family has 2 cars only. They can
Well, you got some
piggyback.
1-bedroom units. They probably aren't going to have 2 cars. I mean, our typical what we see in our families, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units typically have 1 car, and then 3 and 4-bedroom units have 2.
Mhm.
And we've got a development here that has 2 1-bedrooms proposed, 7 2-bedrooms, and then 5 3-bedrooms and 1 4-bedroom. So that would say that approximately 9 of the parking stalls wouldn't be used if you took Habitat's typical design.
Gotcha. And to piggyback on Romana's concern about parking and traffic and stuff, just to say that some of these families have multiple cars, more than 1 or 2 for these units, and they do park across the street by the park. They are going to jaywalk. Like Romana's saying, I live further down from her, and we see people constantly getting nearly hit by all kinds of vehicles because they do use between Montague and 101 this as a speedway to get to these 2 expressways or highways. So we see people jaywalking constantly from our front window, nearly getting hit, people getting hit, cars hitting each other, so hopefully the traffic department can look into this a little bit further to ease that, because it's just going to cause more of a hassle with people trying to get out of that parking lot off that property to cross to cross Daily Cruz to get to their vehicles or whatever.
Okay, glad to hear. I'd rather plan for this now rather than later, or have something horrible happen.
Especially with people coming with families.
Yeah.
They want to take their kids to the parks, and that's the worst thing I see daily is people walking with strollers or little kids right in the middle of Daily Cruz, not even like near the crosswalks. And these cars slamming on the brakes because they're almost hitting them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Steve, can you tell me how to pronounce your last name?
It's Hilkema.
Hilkema. Okay. Just like it should. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Pretty close. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
So Romana, I don't know if I don't think the chat is enabled. There is a Q&A, but I don't know if you're able to see that or not. I can type in my email address there, or it was on the flyer that was sent out. You can email me that way. There is a project page on the city's website as well, and my information is there. So you can any one of you can reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. just wanted to mention that.
And Steve and Romana, we will hear back from the city. I'm sure Namisha will put us in charge with in touch of Public Works and their traffic people, and we will see what they have to say about traffic calming improvements or the crosswalk that we had originally proposed for our project. And John, we will engage our architects in that sightline study right now and provide that to you. And then we will have our landscape architect work with you for some taller growing plants to put on your side of the fence to provide you with some screening. And Romana, we will look at providing some tall growing hedge type plants along the property line between our project and yours.
There are no other concerns or comments. I think we can call it a night.
All right, everyone, we will be in touch. Steve and Romana, we will look at those issues with the traffic and let you know what we hear back. And John, like I said, you'll be hearing from us in the next week or so with some sight lines, and we'll start talking about some planning on your side of the fence. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Rob, I see there's one person who's just joined
Oh.
via phone.
Oh. Hello, 304-377-6400. See if I can unmute you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, this is Justin Cooper. I'm a assistant pastor at North Valley Baptist Church on De La Cruz Boulevard.
Uh-huh. I'm Rob Simons. I'm the developer, part of the development group. I'm the director of housing development at Habitat for Humanity, East Bay, Silicon Valley. And you've got Cameron,
Okay.
He's our project manager on this. And then
Okay.
Namisha is the associate planner with the project.
Gotcha. Sounds good. The property's kind of across the road from our property there, so I just was logging in just to kind of listen. I didn't know if you were discussing things or not. I don't have any questions. I just was going to listen in.
Yeah, we do. We started this about 50 minutes ago or so, but we'd be happy to take you
Okay.
through it again if you'd like to see what the project's going to look like.
Oh, well, no, that's okay. I actually have a rendering of it already. I have that much. So I'm sorry I was a little bit late.
And not a problem. Can I answer any questions you might have regarding the project? I'd be happy to.
I really don't have much information other than just the information for the Zoom meeting that I had. When did you plan to start the project? Do you have a date yet or a time frame?
Well, our timetable right now is to have planning commission approvals by January of 2023, and then have city council approval on our parcel map in February, March of 2023. Then it would take approximately 10 to 12 months to get building permits to build the project. We'd look at starting construction in early 2024 and complete it right around the end of 2025, first month into 2026, and then sell the homes then.
I see. Okay. I'm not sure if there's like a projected level of income to live in those homes? Do you know that?
We do. And
Okay.
that is going to depend, of course, upon us getting certain governmental awards for this project. We do require substantial governmental subsidies to build these. The city of
Sure.
Santa Clara has already committed to a portion of that, and we will be making application to the county of Santa Clara for their Measure A funds. Once we receive our planning approvals from the city, we've already had numerous discussions with them and feel like that's going to be a funding source for that too. We're anticipating that this project is going to include people that are in the very low income range, which is 30 to 50% of the area AMI. There will be homes in the low range, which is 60 to 80 AMI, and then a couple of homes in the moderate range, which is 80 AMI to 120 AMI.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. That's really all the questions I have for you. Like I said, just had planned to call in and listen, but then time got away from me. So I'm glad I did catch you before you got off here, at least, though.
Yes.
Justin, I do want to let you know that the recording of this meeting will be posted on the city's website under the project page, on the project page. So
Sure.
if you wanted to, you can go back and listen to it.
Okay, that's probably what I'll do. That'll be great. Thank you.
And Justin, you always have the opportunity to reach out to either Cameron or myself as well, and we'll share any information on the project that is part of the public purview.
Sure. Okay, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other question from John?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
One last question. When there's a problem with a fence, usually two neighbors will share the costs of a fence. So if the existing wooden fence stays there, who's the owner of the property that I would have to deal with on the other side of the common property line with my property and the project?
Once the project's built, there will be an HOA, a homeowner association there that you would talk to.
And would they have a manager, a homeowner?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They would have an outside manager is what I mean.
That is correct. There would not be somebody living at the property. So there would be a
thanks.
company.
That's all. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions I can answer? John, your hand's still up. Is that, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. John, Romana, anything else?
Nope, I'm gonna leave. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, thank you. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. And thank you, Rob and Cameron, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Have it posted soon. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.